hearts. Birth by sleep. 3 young people who dream of becoming Keyblade Masters are dragged into a colossal scheme. The Keyblade, a weapon in the shape of a key that can only be used by those with strong hearts. In order to become Keyblade Masters, who are outstanding even among Keyblade wielders, the young Terra, Ventus, and Aqua train hard under Master Ericus. However, when the monsters of darkness known as Unverse put the world in peril, the 3 depart for the outside world, each with their own motives. They have no idea that Master Xehanort's scheme to reignite the Keyblade War is being put into motion behind the scenes. On the island where it all began. Destiny Island is a tranquil world surrounded by the ocean. Once, on an island that was too small, a young man with a sense of curiosity that was too big set off for the outside world. Time passed, the man grew old and he returned to his birthplace. His purpose there was to abandon a young apprentice whose heart had been broken by the man's own experiment. But then a miracle occurred. The heart of a newborn on the island supplemented the boy's fractured heart. The connected hearts gave rise to a miracle, and the boy, Ventus, held out a Keyblade, proof of his heart. However, this caused a dangerous new plan to come to the mind of the old man, Master Xehanort. Several years passed after that. The 3 depart. The land of departure, a place that floats in the realm between and has been formerly guarded by generations of Keyblade Masters. Its protector, Master Ericus, had 3 apprentices. Terra, a straightforward young man. Aqua, a young lady with a strong sense of justice. And Ventus, a boy who came to this land a few years ago. Among them, Terra and Aqua were informally deemed masters, but on the advice of Master Xehanort, who was once a senior apprentice to Ericus, a Mark of Mastery exam was to be held as a final confirmation. The night before the exam, the trio talked together under a sky full of stars. Aqua had created wayfinders with the wish that the 3 of them would be able to meet again if they were ever separated. With these charms in hand, the friends affirmed their bonds with each other. However, this would be the last time they ever gazed at the night sky together. At daybreak, Terra and Aqua's Mark of Mastery exam began. They were to have a mock battle under the observation of Ericus and Xehanort to test their hearts. In the middle of the intense match, Terra suddenly invoked the power of darkness. Ericus, who strictly prohibited darkness, found fault with this, and Terra failed the exam. Aqua passed the exam, and as she learned about what it entailed to be a master, Terra stood alone in the courtyard, disheartened. Terra was fretting about what had happened despite feeling he was strong enough to hold back the darkness. At that moment, it was Xehanort who gave him hope. Unlike Ericus, he advised Terra that his darkness couldn't be destroyed, only channeled. Terra was encouraged by these words and felt he could trust Xehanort as someone who could see the goodness in him. Meanwhile, Yen Sid, a great sorcerer who kept watch over the realm of light, was informed of a strange phenomenon. Ones who feed on negativity and aren't well versed in life. These monsters of darkness, the unversed, had appeared everywhere and were endangering the princesses of light. Furthermore, contact had been lost with Xehanort, a Keyblade wielder who should have been helping with this crisis. Terra and Aqua's master tasked them with 2 missions. Eliminate the unversed and find Xehanort. He had arranged it so they can use the lanes between to travel between the worlds. Terra was encouraged by his master's words. Consider this an opportunity, a second chance for you to change my mind. Eric is worried that the young man would fall into darkness, so he gave Aqua the secret additional task of monitoring Terra. Meanwhile, Ventus came face to face with a boy wearing a strange mask. The masked boy told him he should catch up with Terra before he became a different person. Driven by anxiety at these words, Ventus rushed out of the land of departure after Terra. In addition to monitoring Terra, Aqua was now also given the task of bringing Ventus back. With their individual objectives in mind, the trio were about to begin their journeys. Enchanted Dominion, a kingdom lauded for its beautiful greenery and waters. Everyone in the castle, including Princess Aurora, has fallen into an eternal sleep due to a curse from Maleficent, the evil fairy who lives in the Forbidden Mountain. The evil fairy after Aurora's heart. During his search for Master Xehanort, Terra finds the eternally sleeping Princess Aurora in a room of a castle. Maleficent appears and offers to tell him about Xehanort if he retrieves the princess's heart. Terra refuses, but Maleficent's magic bewitches him, and when he comes to his senses, the princess's heart has been taken. Terra blames himself for being weak and leaves the castle. Who stole the princess's heart? While searching for Terra, Ventus finds Princess Aurora in an unbroken sleep in a castle. He goes to the Forbidden Mountain to release her heart, along with the 3 fairies who have been keeping watch over her. However, Maleficent stands in their way when they're about to return to the castle. She tells them that Terra was the one who stole the princess's heart. Shaken, Ventus resolves not to return to his master until he finds Terra and confirms the truth for himself. True love that eradicates evil. Aqua finds Ventus in the Forbidden Mountain, but he runs off and Maleficent drops Aqua into her dungeon. Prince Philip, who's also in the dungeon, was likewise captured by Maleficent. Aqua and the prince escape the dungeon and defeat Maleficent, who has transformed into a dragon. The prince's love lifts Aurora's curse, and Maleficent says, as long as there is light, there will be darkness before departing. Dwarf Woodlands. A queen who possesses a magic mirror resides in this kingdom. Mines full of gems and a forest that's dark even during the day lie in the vicinity of the castle. and cheerful, hard-working dwarves live in the forest. The mirror that speaks the truth. After getting wind of a magical mirror that tells the truth, Tara visits the castle. The queen who owns the mirror orders him to bring her Snow White's heart, and in exchange shall ask the mirror his question. However, Tara ignores the queen's order and points out that her heart is shrouded in darkness. Enraged, the queen traps Tara in the mirror, but Tara wins his battle against it and escapes, whereupon he obtains information from it about Master Xehanort. Searching for a clue to Tara. When Ventus visits the mine, he tries to ask the dwarves about Tara, but they send him away, thinking he's a gem thief. With no other option, he heads toward the castle. On the way, he meets Snow White in the forest, and she tells him she met a stranger with a sword shaped like a key in the flower glade. Believing the man in question is Tara, Ventus makes his way to the flower glade, but he only finds a suspicious old woman and no Tara. Waking from eternal sleep, the dwarves were grieved when Snow White fell into eternal sleep after eating a poisoned apple that the queen, disguised as an old woman, gave her. After hearing about this from the dwarves, Aqua visits the castle to try to find a way to help Snow White, but she's unable to obtain any clues. As they're all stricken with despair, a prince from a neighboring kingdom comes running to give Snow White a goodbye kiss, and lo and behold, she wakes up. The dwarves see her off as she departs with the prince. Castle of Dreams. An impressive world featuring a resplendent castle. In order for the prince to find a bride, a ball is held at the castle. A mansion where Cinderella and Lady Tremaine live is found nearby. Let's make a dress. For some reason, Ventus's body shrinks and he gets caught in a mouse trap. The ones who come to his rescue are Cinderella and a mouse named Jack. Upon learning that Cinderella can't make her dress for the ball due to her stepmother and stepsisters harassing her, Ventus and Jack busy themselves making one for her. In the middle of this, the cat Lucifer attacks them, but they succeed in completing the dress, and Cinderella departs for the ball in great delight. Light brought by the power of belief in dreams. Cinderella is crying because her stepmother and stepsisters tore up her dress as she was heading for the ball. But her fairy godmother works her magic to give Cinderella a beautiful dress. Tara senses light dwelling within Cinderella's heart and accompanies her to the castle. After he protects her from unverse and escorts her safely to the ball, Tara is reminded of the importance of believing in your dreams as he watches Cinderella dance happily with the prince. Who is the owner of the glass slipper? The fairy godmother asks Aqua to help Jack, the mouse, in his struggle to rescue Cinderella, who's been locked in in her room. They succeed, and Cinderella is able to safely leave her room. She puts her glass slipper on in the presence of the Grand Duke, who's been searching for the woman who fits the slippers. An unversed is created from the negative emotions of Lady Tremaine and her daughters, who are jealous of Cinderella. But Aqua defeats it, and Cinderella is able to marry her prince. Footsteps of Darkness. After he left the land of departure a step ahead of the others, Terra battled the forces of darkness as he searched for information about Xehanort and the Unversed. Apparently, Xehanort had an interest in hearts of pure light, and the masked boy had something to do with the appearance of the Unversed. Unfortunately, Terra came into contact with the forces of darkness in the course of acquiring this information, and as a result, he acted in a way that threatened a princess's life. Terra's sequence of actions was conveyed to Ventus and Aqua in such a way that it made it seem like he was complicit with darkness. Once again, the masked boy appeared before Ventus, who was in a hurry to find Terra. The strength of the boy, who wielded a jet black keyblade, overwhelmed Ventus. Just then, a keyblade user, introducing himself as Mickey, came to assist him. Although he was still in training, he'd run out on his teacher, Yensid, after learning the world was in danger. Ventus and Mickey formed a bond of friendship over their similarities. At that moment, Terra, who had passed by Mickey on his way out, was visiting Yensid. Yensid listened to Terra's report and guessed that there could be a connection between the appearance of the Unversed and Xehanort's disappearance. After heading out to investigate further, Terra received a summons from Xehanort himself and learned an astonishing fact. The masked boy was actually a being of pure darkness named Vanitas, whom Xehanort had separated from Ventus. He had released his own darkness all over in the form of the Unversed. Ignorant of the true evil motives behind Xehanort's words, Terra accepted his entreaty to eliminate Vanitas, the being created through the old man's own mistake. Radiant Garden. A town with beautiful flowers in full bloom that's full of the power of light. Ansem the Wise, who is researching hearts with his apprentices, rose over this place. The three pass by each other. In accordance with what Master Xehanort told him, Terra headed to the City of Light, where Vanitas was supposed to strike next. Aqua had witnessed this and followed Terra, and Ventus was guided by the star shard that Mickey possessed. Thus, the three arrived at the City of Light, Radiant Garden, under different circumstances. Aqua discovered Unversed attacking a girl named Kyrie and joined forces with Mickey, who rushed in on the spot to save her. Sensing a special light from Kyrie, Aqua cast a spell on her to protect her from the darkness, and then she went after the enormous Unversed attacking the city. Terra and Ventus were each also pursuing a different giant Unversed. The three monsters merged together and attacked asked her to monitor Terra. Gripped with suspicion of his master and his friend, Terra departed alone. A man named Braig appeared before the heartbroken Terra. The man had taken Xehanort hostage, and he attacked Terra, demanding he hand over his Keyblade. At the end of the fierce battle, Terra drove Braig away, but in doing so, he activated the power of darkness again. Terra tormented himself, thinking he could never go home now that he'd fallen into darkness. Xehanort told him that he had channeled the darkness and that he was the one who shows the true mark of mastery. The old man appealed to the younger man to become his pupil, so together they could bring about a balance between light and darkness. Xehanort's words made Terra feel better and trust the man even more than before, and he vowed anew to defeat Vanitas. Meanwhile, Aqua was confronting the masked boy. After making a show of astounding strength, Vanitas left. Aqua resolved to fight him to the death the next time they met and to not drag her friends into it any more than they had been already. Both Terra and Aqua resolved to fight only with their own power and departed ahead of Ventus. Left alone, Ventus met a boy named Lee, who caused him to reflect on friendship, and he set out on his journey again. Disney Town. Disney Castle, ruled over by King Mickey, is located in this town. Once a year, the Dream Festival is held, a spectacular festival where people can enjoy a variety of events. Defeat the rampaging Unversed. In addition to the cards participating in races, there are also Unversed running on the raceway. Queen Minnie, Chip, and Dale tell Terra off for being on the course without participating in the race, so he decides to enter. He beats Pete posing as Captain Dark in the race while eliminating Unversed and wins first place. Terra had been prepared to fall into darkness if it meant saving the world, but the race makes him realize that he can achieve his goals without breaking the rules. Let's try making ice cream. When Ventus visits the plaza, Pete, disguised as Captain Justice, begins to talk to him. Pete's desire for the popularity contest prize has caused him to go around meddling in the affairs of everyone he lays eyes on. Furthermore, he volunteers to help the triplets who were stumped by how to use their ice cream machine. But he does a poor job of making the ice cream and tries to demolish the machine. At that point, Ventus appears and successfully makes ice cream, which causes Pete to run off in annoyance. Who's the most popular this year? Aqua isn't sure how to respond when Pete, in the guise of the self-proclaimed hero of justice, Captain Justice, accosts her. Just then, Horace Collar asks Pete to get rid of the Unversed who are ruining Fruitball. Aqua eradicates the Unversed in place of Pete, who runs away after refusing the request. Everyone thanks her, and she wins first place in the popularity contest alongside Terra and Ventus. Olympus Coliseum. should Phil train? Phil, who has been coaching Hercules, finally gives in to the persistent Zack, who aspires to train under him, and says, "I'm gonna watch both of your matches, then I'll decide which of you rookies I want to train." However, right before the final match between Hercules and Zack, a swarm of Unvers appears in town. Ventus heads for town alone, and Hercules withdraws from the match to rush after him. Seeing this, Phil decides Hercules will be the one he trains. A celebratory date. After Aqua learns that Terra was the winner of the previous tournament, Phil tells her, if you enter, there's always a chance you might run into him, so she decides to participate in the games. However, Hades, who tried to make Terra succumb to the darkness in the last tournament, is Aqua's opponent in the final match. Aqua defeats Hades and becomes the champion. Zack asks her to go on a date with him to celebrate. The invitation makes her feel embarrassed, and she departs for the next world. Deep space. A world governed by the United Galactic Federation. In the story, the planet Turo, where the Federation's headquarters are located, and the Durkon prisoner transportation ship, which carries Experiment 626 and Dr. Jumba, appear. What am I truly seeking? After being captured by a mysterious spaceship in the lanes between and getting put in a prison cell, Terra uses his Keyblade to break out. Seeing this, Dr. Jumba asks Terra to help him liberate Experiment 626, but the released creature steals Terra's Wayfinder. Terra involuntarily loses his composure, but he realizes that what he truly been seeking from the bottom of his heart was bonds with his friends. And he teaches Experiment 626 about the concept of friends after the creature returns his Wayfinder. A heart grew in the strongest life form. After being detained as a stowaway on the mysterious spaceship, Aqua hears of the crew's difficulties in eradicating the Unversed and finding Experiment 626. The Grand Councilwoman, who's in charge of the ship, tasks Aqua to do both. Aqua searches the ship high and low and finds both Experiment 626 and Dr. Jumba. Upon learning that Experiment 626 made a Wayfinder, imitating Terra's, and treats it with great care, Aqua tells the creature that she's friends with Terra, and they form a new bond of friendship. Bonds won't be broken. Ventus arrives on a mysterious spaceship and meets Experiment 626. Ventus feels an affinity for the creature, who has a Wayfinder like his, but Captain Gantu breaks the lucky charm, and Experiment 626 turns ferocious. Ventus deepens his friendship with the creature by teaching him that even if the Wayfinder is broken, his bonds of friendship will never be fairies and pirates live. Because it's a world created by children's dreams, children will never grow up here, and the strength of wishes and a heart that believes are more powerful than anything else. Showdown with the boy after the light. While searching for the boy in the mask, Terra agrees to be Hook's bodyguard because the pirate is worried about a boy who's after his light. Terra battles Peter Pan, who appears in Hook's absence to get this light. However, the light Hook was trying to protect turns out to be ordinary treasure rather than a heart of light. After clearing up the misunderstanding with Peter Pan, Terra releases Tinkerbell, Peter's friend whom Hook had captured. Let's put in our true treasures. While searching for a shooting star said to have fallen on the island, Ventus and Tinkerbell find a star shard, but not only does Hook snatch it, he also kidnaps Tinkerbell. Ventus heads to Hook's pirate ship with Peter Pan, and they gain control of the ship and give Hook his just desserts. After the battle, they decide to put their own prized possessions in the treasure chest they stole from the pirate ship, and Ventus chooses the wooden keyblade that Terra gave him. Even treasured memories are broken. Aqua unexpectedly ends up accompanying Peter Pan's group in their treasure hunt. After exploring all over the place, they find a treasure chest that contains not only their own prized possessions, but also Ventus's wooden keyblade. However, a boy in a mask appears and breaks the keyblade. Enraged, Aqua defeats the masked boy. As she leaves Neverland behind, she reminds herself that her bonds with Terra and Ventus won't be so easily broken. Ambition revealed. Terra, Ventus, and Aqua resume their separate journeys, but through meetings and partings in a variety of worlds, they reflected anew upon the importance of their bonds with each other. Terra was led to Destiny Island at the end of his journey, and there he met a boy named Riku. Riku spoke of wanting to be strong to protect the things that matter. Terra saw his past self in the boy and performed the bequeathing with him, then left the island after promising they would meet again. After Terra, Aqua was also guided to Destiny Island. She realized that Riku had received the bequeathing from Terra, so she told the boy's best friend, Sora, to keep him safe if something bad ever happened. Right around then, Ventus learned at the mysterious tower that Mickey was in danger, and he met Master Xehanort again when he went to the Badlands to save the mouse. In that moment, memories Ventus had lost returned to him in fragments. A memory of losing his heart and almost being abandoned by Xehanort, a memory of being entrusted to Eraqus in a daze. Xehanort pressed the confused Ventus to reclaim the part that left him, and forged the Keyblade and finally persuaded him to ask his master about the truth. After returning to the land of departure, Ventus was so agitated he demanded answers from Eraqus. Eraqus sensed from the boy's state that Xehanort had proceeded with the evil ambition the old man had once told him about, a dangerous plan to forge the Keyblade and bring back the Keyblade War that had once devastated the world. Eraqus reluctantly attempted to eliminate Ventus so the boy wouldn't become a component for the Keyblade. At that moment, Terra jumped in the way. After forcing Ventus to escape, prophesying that Terra would watch Ventus and Aqua meet their ends at the Keyblade graveyard, and the last light within him would die. The creation of the Keyblade. After Terra helped him escape from danger, Ventus met Vanitas on Destiny Island and finally learned the truth about both of them and Master Xehanort's plan. Xehanort had split Ventus's heart and created a dark version of the boy, Vanitas. And now the man was trying to bring about a great war in the world by making the two boys clash and thus creating the Keyblade, a product of both light and darkness. Ventus refused to fight with Vanitas in an attempt to prevent the creation of the Keyblade. However, Vanitas told him Terra and Aqua were in danger and provoked him into chasing the masked boy. At that moment, Aqua was visiting Yensid to bring him Mickey, whom she had rescued during her journey, and she received the shocking news that Master Ericus had been struck down at the hands of Master Xehanort and Terra. Unable to believe that her friend would do such a thing, Aqua decided to ascertain the truth with her own eyes. Terra wanted to settle the score with Xehanort and protect his friends. Ventus wanted to put a stop to Vanitas' scheme, and Aqua wanted to find out the truth behind Ericus' final moments. To fulfill their respective goals, the three of them gathered at the Keyblade graveyard, a wasteland where the scars of the Keyblade War remained. Terra confessed that Xehanort deceived him into defeating his master, and he stated he was going to finish this alone. However, Aqua feared that darkness would be born within the tormented Terra if he fought, playing right into Xehanort's hands. And Ventus explained that the existence of himself and Vanitas was a trigger for a Keyblade war that would destroy the world. He asked his two friends to put an end to him if the need arose. Just then, Xehanort appeared, followed by Vanitas. No longer hiding his evil nature, Xehanort emphatically declared that he would obtain the Keyblade. The three readied themselves to fight, but Xehanort's power made quick work of them. Ventus was frozen in ice, and Terra was separated from the other two. In the midst of the fierce battle, the counterpart to the Keyblade that people fought the Keyblade War over in ancient times, Kingdom Hearts, appeared through a gap in the clouds. As Kingdom Hearts looked on, Terra challenged Master Xehanort alone in an attempt to settle the score. However, as his anger toward the old man burned, his heart began to be tainted by darkness, just as Xehanort had planned. Aqua was looking after the frozen Ventus when Braig came and stood before her. She drove him away, but a surprise attack from Vanitas put her in a desperate situation. Seeing his friend in danger, Ventus broke the spell of ice through his own strength and faced Vanitas, but that was exactly what the masked boy expected. The clash between light, Ventus, and darkness, Vanitas, finally created the Keyblade. Confident that his heart's desire, the Keyblade, was complete, Xehanort gleefully used the power of his Keyblade to release his own heart. His other other aim was to make Terra's heart succumb to the darkness so he could take over his young body. Xehanort successfully took Terra's body away from him, but Terra's will hadn't yet disappeared. His will caused the armor he left behind to move and to challenge Xehanort to fight in its own form. Meanwhile, Mickey had come running to help Aqua, and when she regained consciousness, she saw Vanitas, who had merged with her friend. Vanitas intended to bring about the Keyblade War with the power of the Keyblade in his hands. Its immense power overwhelmed Aqua and Mickey, but Aqua transformed her bonds with her friends into strength to unleash all of her might and damage the Keyblade. Around the same time, Ventus awoke within Vanitas' heart. Vanitas intended to achieve a complete fusion this time, but Ventus refused. With the knowledge that his own heart would be broken, Ventus fought his dark half and destroyed the Keyblade. The power released from the broken Keyblade engulfed their surroundings, and Kingdom Hearts disappeared behind the clouds once more. And then, with King Mickey's help, Aqua and Ventus returned to Yen Sid, but the boy's heart hadn't awoken, and Terra was missing. Aqua had faith that Ventus would follow his bonds with her and Terra and awaken someday, and she swore to track down Terra. To take her friend's heart back, Aqua was determined to protect Ventus until he woke up to save the missing Terra. She departed from Yen Sid and returned to the land of departure under Ventus's guidance. Through Master Xehanort's doing, darkness had ruined this world where she had spent time with her master Ericus and her friends, and it was now a mere shadow of its former self. In order to control her grief and as part of her duty as a Keyblade Master, prevent the forces of darkness from invading, she used her master's Keyblade to seal the land of departure. The land immediately transformed into Castle Oblivion, a place that would lure anyone who visited into Oblivion. After laying Ventus in one of the rooms of the castle, Aqua promised him she'd bring Terra home without fail, and then departed. A familiar voice called out to Aqua when she left Castle Oblivion. Put an end to me. Aqua's intuition told her that the owner of the voice making this grim plea was Terra, and she followed it to Radiant Garden. In the town's central square, Aqua found a young man with silver hair who appeared to be Terra. However, his memory was in disarray, and sinister hints of darkness were rising from him. This was after Xehanort had taken over Terra's body in order to rescue her dear friend's heart. Aqua challenged the man who had taken on Terra's appearance, Terra Xehanort, to a final battle. In the midst of his fierce battle with Aqua, Terra Xehanort was suddenly consumed with pain as light began to overflow from within him. Terra's heart, which remained in his body, was responding to Aqua's wish and resisting Xehanort. Losing his temper, Xehanort turned his keyblade to his own chest in order to drive out Terra's heart, and darkness engulfed Terra. As he sank toward the depths of darkness, Aqua managed to catch him, but the way back to their own world was about to disappear. If she could at least save Terra, making her decision, Aqua put her own armor on Terra and, relying on the strength of their bond, sent him back toward the realm of light alone. Eventually, Ansem the Wise, who ruled over Radiant Garden, was led by his apprentice Braig to an amnesiac, Terra Xehanort, who had escaped from the realm of darkness. In his shaky consciousness, he gave his name as Xehanort, and Ansem welcomed him as his apprentice. This was the beginning of a new scheme that Braig and Xehanort had been refining for some time. Meanwhile, in Destiny Island, Sora sensed the heart of Ventus, which was beginning to fade after his battle with Vanitas. Sora and Ventus encountered each other in their subconscious for a second time. The first time had been when Ventus had a fractured heart after separating from Vanitas. The pair's hearts connected, and Ventus's heart, on the verge of breaking, was supplemented by Sora's and fell into a long slumber within the younger boy. At that moment, in the realm of darkness, left alone, Aqua intently walked along a road without knowing how far it would go. She was exhausted from her endless battles with the monsters of the realm and almost surrendered to the darkness, but the hearts of Terra and Ventus, who were connected to her, became points of light and gave her strength. Although she'd fallen into the darkness, she still had her bonds with the people important to her. Aqua transformed her connections with Terra, Ventus, her master Ericus, and everyone she'd met into